nice and opened, and I can start installing all my pieces in. Right. Look at that, man. I can just leave it like this and just have some sunroof, straight open air. Man, get a wind tunnel going through here. Well, folks, it's coming along. Alright, so here's my platform. So as you can see, I have this piece here and tucked in there, and I have this piece tucked in here. But as I recall, or I don't know if you guys recall, that I actually left, you see this line right here, I actually left half an inch all the way around, half an inch on that side and half an inch on this side. So in total it's about an inch sticking out that way, and I did that intentionally because I really didn't know for a fact, you know, what my actual width was going to be. So I left a little bit of wiggle room for error. So now that I have that, you know, all I have to do is butt this in here and then just draw my line there, do a straight cut, and it should you know, fit snugly inside here, and then my walls will go up, over, and, you know, of course it's going to go, you know, it's going to be a hood over. Actually, the correct way to verify this is using a square, which we already know it's not perfectly straight due to this. Let's just see how far off I am. So as you can see, I have a gap on the bottom here, and I have a gap on the top here, which leads me to believe that it's tilted a little bit towards one side. So I need to it looks like it's highest, there's a high point on that end there, and then this is the low point. So I need to just, you know, get my line straight, and, you know, figure out, you know, get my cut straight and make sure this is perfectly square. And then, because everything else is, like I said, I put my level here, and everything else is going to be built upon that, and it's going to be riveted permanently in place. So I don't want to have a cockeyed, you know, looking. But, you know, even if you do have a little gap there, and like if I did build it like that, you know, no one's really going to, you know, walk behind you and, you know, with a square and making sure that your truck is perfectly square and plumb. So it wouldn't be a big deal, but I would know that it's not square. You guys will know it's not square because you guys are watching me. So I need to, you know, make sure that I'm on top of my game and make sure that this is this is square, you know, because it's gonna drive me nuts if it's not square. So yeah, I need to make sure this thing is, you know, perfectly flat and square. The other thing that I didn't that I almost forgot is that this board is actually not the board that I'm going to use. I actually totally forgot all about it. I messed up. I brought the wrong board. The board that I'm actually going to use is the full 4 feet length board. Once I got to this stage, I was going to replace this board with a full length 4x8 board, which I have it at home. It's, you know, which is an hour away, and I'm kicking myself in the butt now because although the length is true, actually this is the length I'm using from here to there. That's the length that I need. But you guys got to remember, I had an additional wall right here, where I'm gonna have to, I don't know if I'm going to rebuild that wall or not. But the thing is that I have that platform over there, and that was a you know, 4 feet wide. So my piece was actually going to go from there, and then cut this piece out, and it's going to extend here, and then this piece is going to, you know, go this way, and that was going to be the full length of my bed, not just this piece. All right, so the plan is I'm going to continue on. I'm going to cut this board and you know, just pre-assemble my pieces and make sure everything fits, and then I might have to come back next weekend or the weekend after that. Who knows what weekend I'll have time to come back again. You know, as you guys know, you know, it takes me a while to put out another video, and the reason is you know, this is just a weekend project for me, and lately it hasn't been every weekend. So so I'm gonna just do that, pre-assemble it, make sure everything fits as intended, you know, just make all my pre-cuts, and then I'll come back. I'm gonna have to break it down anyways. I was planning to break it down anyways, and then reassemble it with the wood glue and all the fasteners that I was going to use, so that it's permanently assembled, and then fiberglass the outer shell. So that's the plan right now. I'm just going to continue pre-assembling everything, and then, you know, I'll just have that as a template for when I get my other board. And the other thing I also wanted to point out is my actual cutout. As you guys can see, there's not much of a gap except for that piece over there, but other than that, there's not too much of a gap. It does kind of look like it's leaning down a little bit that way, and again, that's because, you know, the board is just not, it's not perfectly flat. It's not, you know, my saw cuts are perfectly straight. Let's see how square it is on the forward angle. So, you know, it needs to be, like I said, it needs to be tilted back just a little bit that way. You know, it's due, you know, mostly due to the, this one needs a lot more than the other side. So this one needs, you know, a couple degrees back. As you can see, this one is kind of sitting a little bit weird on this side. So some adjustments will be needed. So alright guys, so I'm looking at this is the line that I trace with the laser light, and then these were going to be my tabs that will fold over. However, you know, just kind of looking at this top, and looking at this cutout that I did, this was just a pre-cut out, so to speak. My original cut should have been here, and then cut out these little triangles to create tabs, and then it'll fold along this line here. But looking at this, you know, just looking at the top and looking at these grooves here, these grooves here are there to add rigidity to this sheet metal, you know, because sheet metal is fairly thin. The other thing that I need to consider is the bottom. You know, looking at it from the bottom, you have this indentation on the bottom here. So if I was to cut the line, my original line that I had planned out, that line will cut it into this piece here. So that part, you know, it wouldn't work either. So, you know, just rethinking where my cutout line is going to be. I actually want to keep these things here. So luckily I didn't cut too much. You know, this pre-cut that I did, luckily I didn't cut too much on this one. On this side, from the edge to the edge of this indentation here, I have about 1.25 inches, whereas on this side I have about 2.25 inches, so I have an additional inch on this side. Nevertheless, I'm going to keep these. I'm going to keep this indentation. I'm going to move my line over you know, on this side of this I don't know, groove, whatever you want to call it. But this is here for rigidity and strength, you know, just to kind of, you know, strengthen this sheet metal here. Matter of fact, I'm gonna keep it how it is now, except the difference is, instead of folding it up on this line, I'm just gonna fold it up on this line. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna draw a line, same distance from this all the way around, which is pretty much the line along, you know, this edge here. But I'm gonna do some better measurements and then just tape it out and make sure that I cut exactly where I need to cut. Again, this was just a cut, a pre-cut, just so that I can get this piece off, and then I was going to, you know, cut a straighter line once I have it exposed this way. But I'm gonna keep this cut here and then just cut my indentations from there. Alright guys, so I rebuilt my line here, so all I have to do is just cut tabs here, and my fold line is going to be here instead of here. I'm gonna keep this thing here to keep that rigidity there, and that way that I don't have to cut into this piece here. So, you know, there's plenty of weight. This has plenty of support right there that, you know, can hold plenty of weight there. However, the support is mostly going to be based on the platform and held by the side walls, which that's going to increase most of the support for the weight that's going to be used up here. But the lesson that I wanted to pass on to you guys really quick is, you know, obviously I cut this part here, you know, thinking that I'm going to, you know, I had plenty of room to kind of go back and cut a straight line afterwards. But it turns out that, you know, after exposing this bottom, I would have had to cut into this, and then that just would have, you know, reduced the integrity a whole lot more if I would have cut into these support beams here. So and then this little tab here kind of adds some support. So, you know, kind of got ahead of myself. I should have just kind of you know, thought it through. But you know how I do it, guys. I pretty much just wing it and just figure it out as I go along. So I wanted to pass this knowledge on to you guys. Anybody who's out there planning to do this or replicate the same procedure, you know, make sure you don't, you know, remove your headliner first, so that you know exactly where these supports are at, because otherwise I would have cut into this and that would have been bad. So I wouldn't want to do that. And then, you know, just after thinking about it, you know, just keeping one of these little tabs on each side will add a lot of benefit to the structure there. So just wanted to pass on that bit of knowledge that I learned from, you know, goofing up on this one. So, well, not necessarily goofing up, but just I had to rethink it. The only thing that I know that I'm going to run into trouble is I got just a little piece there to work with that's not a whole lot of much of a tab there to fold up. You know, like this one here, I got plenty of tab to fold up and over, but you know, here I don't have a whole lot. So if I would have planned that out a little bit better, I would have had plenty of space to do my tabs. But you know, just learning as I go. Alright guys, so I shaved this part down, I shaved this sheet metal down, I shaved this part down, and as you can see, I cut out my tabs as well. You know, I just cut out to the line I pretty much drew all the way around. And as the radius gets tighter, you know, you do smaller tabs. The reason this is because these tabs, from corner to corner, you just do a straight line. You don't actually make curves. You got to go straight, because when you bend it, it's a curve is not going to bend, so you got to do straight. So that's why I'm saying, when on tighter radius, just do shorter tabs. I did score it a little bit with the grinder, just a little bit along the top, as you can see, just so that I can make sure that when I fold it up, it folds up on that line. As you can see, my lines are kind of crooked here. That's, you know, usually when you cut back this way, but you know, not till I got halfway through I realized that if I just allow the wheel just to go forward, it'll make straighter lines. So, you know, just some advice for you guys. You know, when you score it just a little bit, make sure you go forward. You know, naturally I wanted to go back, you know, back like that, but that wasn't working. Just go forward. Anyways, that's how this is. Next I'm putting my platform on top and, you know, remeasure it and readjust, keep adjusting until I get it just right. So the other thing I want to do while I'm down here, as you can see, it's pretty much flat. You know, there's really no gap anywhere except for that little piece there. I see a little bit, but you know, again, once I fold these tabs up and over, it's just gonna grab this top board even more. So since I'm here, what I want to do is I really need to get in there in that as far as I can right there, because that's where my line is, where I have to do my cutout on my board. So that's that. So I gotta do this all the way around, and just to verify, show you, I've cut this down to width, so that's squared inside there, and then this is squared inside here. So now, knowing that that's square, now I can do I need to cut this perfectly. I can't, you know, mess it up, because I have to, you know, well, I'm not going to use this board. I already established that this is the wrong board, but I'm going to reuse this inside piece, because this inside piece is going to be the insert for the bed. This is going to be removable, so I'm going to be able to remove it and then insert it back in whenever I want to do the bed. So I want to make sure I do my, you know, when I cut this board, I do a perfect arch. So I want to make sure I get right inside that corner, so I can connect my arch that way. And the pencil is too thick to get inside this little corner there. So that's why I'm using my knife to kind of scratch, mark it that way. So here are my little notches, and then I just kind of, you know, connected the dots, and then just did a, you know, at the end just did a straight shot down here, straight shot here. So that's my arch. Alright, so here's my platform here. You know, my tabs are pretty much in line. Kind of cut it a little wonky there, but whatever. There, so maybe put a screw in there, hold it down there, but I trimmed it a little bit over on that side, so I think it's looking good so far. You know, something interesting happened, which is this here. Very unexpected. So obviously this is square now, because it's square to this, and it's square there. So, you know, I had a downslope, so that fixed it. But as a result, I ended up getting this gap up here, and that is not a good gap, because that's just unexpected. I was expecting this to be flat, so the only thing that I can think of is that my laser was at a really bad angle, or at a down angle facing up. So you know, and that's one thing to consider. Unfortunately, this was unexpected. I was confident enough to say that, you know, I was going to have a flat surface, you know, that it would align with this board, but that's clearly not the case. But you know, it's not the end of the world. You know, for every problem there's a solution. So like I said, I might just go back and, you know, build a wall here with the thin wood that bends, and then fiberglass it, you know, several layers to reinforce it, make it really strong, and then fold these tabs up, you know, onto that piece. That's where I'm at right now. You know, I got to keep going. I got to keep trying to put on as many pieces as I can, and then next weekend, or whatever weekend I have available next, come back and you know, fiberglass it. And you know, I kind of like the cutout. The reason I like the cutout is because, you know, I can just jump from the front to the back very easily, you know, without, you know, hitting my head or anything. You know, not that it's hard or impossible, but you know, those are just the little conveniences that that adds up for, you know, for me at least. You know, I've had a camper where I have to tuck underneath every time to get to the back, and then I had this setup here before, and I really like this setup, how this setup was done. So that's why I'm doing this again for the future. Maybe not do such a big cutout, maybe just do like a little, maybe just do like the cutout the size of the walkway here, instead of doing that full size cutout there. So that's another food for thought. You know, again, you know, this is just one of those things where I'm kind of just building it as I go, and you know, hopefully this gives you guys ideas as how you guys can improve this design to better suit your needs. But so this is where I'm at now. You know, the only thing that kind of caught me off guard is that gap that I see there, which, you know, it's not, like I said, it's not the end of the world, and reinforce it with fiberglass, you know, to make it very, very strong. You know, we're all learning as we go. So I had to build this platform here, this scaffolding or platform, whatever you call it, and you know, this took me about 2 or 3 hours to build. And the reason I had to build it is because I have to work from the outside. So, you know, I'll show you what it's built out of. It's built out of these 2x4s by, I think they're 16 feet in length, either 14 feet in length, I don't know. But then this is these pieces here are the scrap pieces that that I had from you know, doing my curved studs. So these are their pieces, so I just kind of cut them at the end, and then these are just pieces of scrap boards. So you got to put one in the center and 2 on the side to keep it solid. So that's how this is built on. And there's this, you know, just this piece that was just laying around in the farm. These pieces, this piece and this piece was laying around in the farm, and this is like some of the scrap wood that I had laying around as well. So, you know, I built it to I think it's 5 feet high or something. I built it to where it barely clears the windshield. So It's pretty solid. So I need to cover this up and do my adjustments. That's what I'm doing next. The screws are temporary, just to let you guys know. Screws are temporary unless I can get them to go flush. Unless I can get them to go inside of the wood a little bit, then I can fill it in. But the screws are temporary. They're, you know, once I put wood glue on it, it's going to anchor the pieces down with glue, with the wood glue. And then once the glue sets, then I'm going to remove all the screws, or whatever screws are sticking out. So once the glue sets, then I'm going to start fiberglassing it. So, you know, it's still a bit of a process. I had to cut out this end a little bit all weird again, because the stud was facing upward and I needed to face forward. So that was my mistake, you know, when I cut that notch out. But you know, that's how I was able to fix it. Just kind of cut the corners off of that square, made it work. So it's coming along, you know, I'm pretty much calling it a day. So as you guys know, this is my weekend project, and as you guys know, I haven't been working on it every single weekend. So hopefully I have time to work on it some more next weekend. You know, we're in July right now, 2018, so hopefully, you know, I don't get any rain. I'm just gonna kind of leave that open, you know, for right now. And I'm gonna have to, I still have to build the back scoop of it. But other than that, you know, it's pretty much just putting it together and make my adjustments. And once I know everything fits perfect and everything's plumb and square, then I'm going to, you know, do it again, take it apart piece by piece, and, you know, just put wood glue on every single piece, put it back together, and then start fiberglassing it. Like the walls here, I'm gonna do one layer of fiberglass. On the really thin ones, I'm gonna do like 3 or 4, or you know, however, maybe three layers of fiberglass. So, you know, I'm just going to fiberglass it accordingly of the thickness of whatever board I'm using. So like I said, I still have to do that scoop. You know, it's right here. That's that one there. And I got my little corners back there. So I would have a removable piece, so when I get ready to, you know, go to bed, I have my piece, stick my piece in there, and then, you know, it'll be a cutout of the foam mattress as well. They'll have this cut out, so that way the whole piece comes off with the mattress and all. My actual platform is going to, you know, come to this line here, so I'm going to cut I'm gonna lay my piece down and do this little cutout right here, and then it's going to be about this far out. That's the goal right there, you know. And then, you know, the next step will be the you know, the bottom storage, you know, pieces there. But, you know, coming along slowly. And like I said, hopefully I'll dedicate a little bit more time next weekend, but if not, hang in there, guys. Trying to, you know, spend as many weekends as I can doing it. I'll try to, you know, work on this some more, so you guys can you know, stay up to date on the progress. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. BoxTruck Henry here. You know, if you want to see how this is going to turn out, make sure you subscribe, click on the like button if you like it.